Hey lovelies, welcome back to another episode of my Meal Prep Made Easy series. As you know, all month long I am sharing delicious meal prep ideas that can all be made on Sunday and enjoyed all week long. Today's menu is super inspired by the delicious flavors of autumn. Those are some of my very favorite flavors, so I'm really excited to share it with you. Keep in mind that all of the recipes featured in today's video are available in my third Meal Prep Made Easy ebook, and you can also find 5 more original menus there, so be sure to take a look. The details are in the description box below. Now, without further ado, we are going to get started with this week's menu. First up is my butternut squash and apple soup, and I absolutely love this soup because it's both sweet and savory, and it's got a ton of gorgeous autumn spice in it, and it's really easy to put together in a soup pot on the stove or in your slow cooker. You could do this both ways. I'm just gonna get started by heating up some oil, and once that oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add some finely diced onion. I'm going to cook those onions until they're nice and soft and translucent, and then I'm going to add some yummy fall produce. So I've got some butternut squash that I've just peeled and cubed. I've also got some gorgeous gala apples. And I'm also going to add just a few carrots that I've just roughly chopped, because those carrots are going to add a little additional sweetness to the soup and also some additional nutrition. And there is nothing not to like about that. I'm going to top this all off with some veggie broth. You could totally do this with chicken broth as well. And then it's time to add my spices. In this case, I'm using some classic autumn spices. I've got some cinnamon, some nutmeg, and some allspice. I'm going to season this up with some salt and some pepper and a few sage leaves, and then I'm going to bring this mixture to a simmer. Once it's reached a simmer, I'm going to turn my heat down to medium-low, pop the lid on my pot, and let this cook for between 15 and 20 minutes, or until everything has become nice and soft. And it's really as simple as that. I'm going to turn off my heat and blend this up with an immersion blender until it's completely smooth. When this soup is ready, your house is going to smell incredible. It can be enjoyed right away or stored in the refrigerator for 3 or 4 days. It also freezes beautifully, so if you want to make a double batch, you can freeze the leftovers and enjoy it all season long. For the main event in this week's menu, we're making a roast chicken with root vegetables. Super hearty, super filling. Trust me, you're gonna have a lot of happy eaters in the house, and it's actually really easy to put together. So to get started, we're just going to prepare our root vegetables. I've got some red skin potatoes that I've just roughly chopped. I've totally left the skin on because I was feeling real lazy. I've also got some chopped rutabaga, some parsnips, which are nice and peppery, and some carrots, which of course become nice and sweet as they roast. Perfect combination of flavors coming together here. To add even more flavor, I'm also going to add some chopped onion, and then I'm going to season these beautiful veggies with some red wine vinegar, some garlic powder, some fresh thyme, some salt, some pepper, and some olive oil. I'm going to toss all of that deliciousness together and then transfer it into an oven-safe dish. Next, I'm going to get to work on prepping my whole chicken. I'm just going to nestle it in on top of my root vegetables. I'm flavoring my chicken really simply by adding a few wedges of lemon to the cavity of the chicken. I'm not gonna show that on camera because, you know, we're not that kind of show. I'm going to drizzle the chicken with a little bit of olive oil to help it get nice and crispy, and then I'm going to season it up with some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder, and then I'm going to finish it off with some freshly chopped sage. Now keep in mind, a little sage can go a long way, so I highly recommend you use it in moderation. Now there's some sage advice for you. Jade liked my pun. Jade's a big pun fan, she really is. Now that we've got all the bad puns out of the way, it is time to get this beauty into the oven. I'm roasting it at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's really important when you're cooking a whole chicken to use a meat thermometer. You're looking for an internal temperature of at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I love doing a roast chicken for meal prep because not only can you eat it right out of the oven and it's super delicious, but you can use that roast chicken in countless recipes throughout the week. You can throw it in burritos or over salads. You can mix it up into some chicken salad. It's really, really versatile, so super handy to have on hand. And of course, those roasted root vegetables also make delicious leftovers. You're welcome. Moving on to something just slightly lighter and fresher, I'm making an autumn-inspired quinoa salad. This salad is so beautiful eaten cold, so it's perfect for lunch or as a side dish. I'm getting started with some cooked quinoa in my bowl, and to that I'm going to add some chopped apples. Now, if you want to prevent your apples from browning, you can toss them in a little lemon juice ahead of time, or if you really want the salad to last all week long, instead of apples, you can use some chopped grapes. To add a little more sweetness, I'm using some dried cranberries. I'm also adding some crunch with some pumpkin seeds. And then I'm just gonna dress my salad really simply with some balsamic vinegar, some maple syrup, a little bit of olive oil, and some salt and pepper. I'm going to toss all of this yumminess together and then top it with some crumbled goat cheese. This salad, as you can see, is really easy to prepare, but oh so flavorful. It's got a lovely crunch and sweetness, and I know you're going to love it. I would highly recommend making extra because it's one of those things you'll go back to the fridge for seconds for sure. For lunch this week, I am making a really flavorful roasted beet salad. This salad is so rich, it actually eats like a meal, so you don't have to worry about adding a ton of extras to it. I'm getting started by mixing up a really simple salad dressing. I'm just combining some olive oil with some balsamic vinegar, a little maple syrup, and some Dijon mustard to pull it all together. I'm gonna season it with some salt and pepper, give it a really good shake, and then I'm going to divide my dressing into 5 jars. Now for the base of this salad, I'm using some beautiful roasted beets that have been peeled and chopped. You have 2 options. You can totally roast your own beets if you want to. And to do that, I have some video instructions available here and in the description box below. If you don't feel like roasting your own beets though, don't sweat it. You can usually buy roasted and peeled beets at most supermarkets. You could also use canned if you were in a pinch. Then I'm just going to top it with some baby kale, some finely sliced red onion, some chopped walnuts, and a good helping of crumbled blue cheese. If you're not a fan of blue cheese, don't sweat it at all. You could also use goat cheese in this recipe. That would be amazing. These beauties can be stored in the refrigerator for 4 or 5 days, and they are best enjoyed cold. When you're ready to enjoy them, you simply give them a good shake to dress them, and then you can either eat them straight from the jar or pour them into a bowl. Totally up to you. For breakfast this week, I am bringing back a domestic Geek classic. We are making my breakfast cookies. These are super healthy and really easy to make, but because this is an autumn-inspired menu, we are adding some pumpkin spice flavor. What is not to love about that? I'm getting started with some oats in my bowl. To that, I'm adding some cooked quinoa. Next, I'm adding some mashed banana, some pumpkin puree, some peanut butter, and some maple syrup for sweetness. And of course, for our pumpkin pie flavor, we are using some pumpkin pie spice. You can usually buy this at most supermarkets pre-made, or if you're feeling really ambitious, you can go ahead and make your own. If you want to give it a try, I have a full recipe here, and I will leave it in the description box below, and you can take a look. I'm going to toss all of this yumminess together, and then we are going to finish each of these babies off with a little pecan for some crunch, and then into the oven they go at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for between 15 and 20 minutes. The quinoa helps these cookies stay nice and moist and chewy even after baking. They also add a ton of great protein. I should warn you, these cookies are highly addictive. In fact, before we even finished shooting this video, we had devoured almost all of them. This might be the last one standing. Not for long though. Finally, as you guys know, I like to finish every menu off with a healthy snack that you can enjoy throughout the week. Today, I am making an autumn trail mix. It all starts with some salted almonds and cashews. Next, I'm going to add some chopped dried apple, some cranberries, some pumpkin seeds for crunch, and finally, a little sprinkle of cinnamon to bring all of those tasty flavors together. Give it a mix, and then you can portion it out into individual containers. As you probably already know, trail mix can be pretty calorie dense, so portion control is key. Guys, I really hope you will give this incredible fall menu a try. And if you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Snapchat me a photo because you know I love seeing your meal prep creations. Keep in mind all of the yummy recipes you've seen today, plus 5 more brand new meal prep menus are available in my 3rd Meal Prep Made Easy ebook. And if you haven't checked out ebook 1 or 2, I highly recommend you take a look at those as well. All of the details are in the description box below. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more meal prep deliciousness where this came from. But no more cookies.